Jeremiah 29, 5 to 7. Build houses and settle them. You have to be focused, well-rounded on the inside with precision towards your goal to project that to the outside. Why families that are well organized get more privileges in the community, in the society? 60% of inherited fortunes are here within the second generation and the third. You have to structure your life in a way that you can be productive. The reason why most people quit what they're doing is because they don't really know for sure. Is this gonna work? I have 10 minutes. I want to ask you this question one more time. What you're working on right now, is it going to work? What have I been sharing so far for the past few minutes? It's been more than 30 minutes. First and foremost, I started this conversation with observing how the sun rises on a steady basis and goes down on a steady basis. I also observed the fact that I can breathe with consistency. Any moment my breath stops, that's a different conversation. And then also emphasize the relevance, or not just the relevance, the astronomy behind my ability to remember my phone numbers and my bank account while making coffee. And all these things are steadily working, and they will, and whenever they change, things are disrupted. And then I moved forward to Aristotle. I emphasized how Aristotle views steadiness, and he views it as something that starts from the inside to be projected outside, that you have to be focused, well-rounded on the inside with precision towards your goal to be able to project that to the outside world. And I also give example of families, why families that are well organized get more privileges in the community, in the society, is because they've been able to figure out what works for them and they are steady on the path. And then I emphasize what Jeff Bezos said on CNBC, where he made a statement that if you want to gain trust from people, there's one thing you must develop, and that is reputation. You must be known for something. And to be known for something, you have to do that thing over and over and over and over and over and over, even if it's difficult. You do that thing over and over until you are known for it. And then I moved on to part of the reasons why modern families are not steady. Modern families are not steady because media and modern technology is influencing modern family to be unsteady. And they've used big words like passion. They've used words like I'm my own boss, freedom. They've used words that has to do with different movements to disintegrate family. They've also used schools to distract our kids and making the kids feel like the parents are caretakers, which is unarguably true. But at the same time, it has sent different messages to families. So let me push forward to this. I'm just trying to get backtrack because we got interrupted for a minute on the live for those joining, so they can be able to follow up with what we've been discussing. I also came up with some analysis that I did, and I mentioned that 60% of inherited fortune, inherited wealth, they dissolve or they disappear within the second generation and the third. And this fact is backed up by research from a private bank that, in cases of, family of three, two of them actually lose their wealth, 90% of their wealth on the third generation. And then I backed it up with what Marcus Aurelius believed. And Marcus Aurelius is the father of Stoicism. Marcus Aurelius believed that passion is not part of the list of the recipe for greatness. If you are doing what you are doing right now because you have passion for it, my friend, I'm telling you this with almost 70, you may not make it to the end. Because all it takes is for your passion to be disrupted. All it takes for you to find new passion. All it takes is for you to find something else that makes you feel good, and you will abandon what you're working on. And that brought us to the part where I'm talking to people who don't like philosophy. You don't like philosophy, but you like the Bible? Chill on. This is it. Jeremiah 29 verse 5 to 7 says, you gotta build your house. You gotta have families, and if family is not your thing, you have to be able to structure your life in a way that you can regroup. And when I say regroup, means you can be productive. And what I mean productive is you can be a good example for someone else to emulate. That means you have to have your things together, your life together, so that someone else can see you and aspire for more. And that brings us to the narrow point, passion. Before I go ahead with passion, I want to encapsulate what Jeremiah 29 verse 5 to 7 said. For those who are philosophers, and those who believe in philosophical ideas, what is Jeremiah trying to say? Philosophically, he was trying to say that what you truly want will be nested in the work you truly avoid. What you truly want in life will be nested in the work you truly avoid. To reiterate that, the magic you are looking for is in the work you are avoiding. The work you are avoiding doesn't mean that you don't do the work. It means that the consistency it takes to do that work is the work. Let me put it this way. If you are a basketballer, playing basketball is not the deal. Being consistent as a basketballer is the deal. And that is the work. What you truly want as a basketballer is a little bit of fame. You want money. You want this. You want recognition. You want to be able to put food on the table. You want to feel accomplished. Playing basketball might be something you like, but I can guarantee you the work it takes to become a successful basketballer, you wouldn't like it. Why? It takes hours of practice, hours of consistent, productive practice. It means it's not about shooting the ball in the net. It's about thriving to shoot the ball in the net well and good, and doing that more than everyone else. It means that you are supposed to be shooting the ball in the net when you are supposed to be eating. You're supposed to be shooting the ball in the net when you're supposed to be sleeping, because everyone else is sleeping. But you're shooting the ball in the net. You keep dunking and dunking and dunking and dunking. Why? Because that is the work. The work is what makes you better than everybody else in the field. So, the magic you're looking for, I'll say this one more time, it's in the work you are truly avoiding. Abraham Lincoln said something about passion, and his quote is emphasizing why consistency and steadiness supersede passion in whatever you're doing. He said, adhere to your purpose, and you will soon feel as if you ever did. On the contrary, if you falter and give up, you will lose the power of keeping any resolution, and you will regret it all your life. What is the moral? Before I draw my moral on the conclusion of this whole conversation, I want to bring your attention to René Descartes. René Descartes is a French philosopher. He is renowned for his emphasis on certainty and clarity. Descartes sought out a stable foundation for knowledge. He calls it Contigo, which can be also called cognition. And what Descartes is saying is, there is no way you can walk on a goal or on a path for a long time if you don't know what it is. So, social netting brought up this idea that anything that is worth knowing or that is worth doing must be named. No wonder the first assignment God, and for those of you who are like, oh, what, you get into philosophical now? Can you bring it down with Christians over here? Cool. There is an idea in the beginning that the first job given to a man was to name things. Because naming things signify or identify or signifies that or indicate that you have an understanding of what it is. So what Descartes is saying is, or what Descartes' idea and what he succeeded in is to promote the fact that before you can be on a steady goal, on a worthy goal, you must know what you are working on. Descartes emphasized the fact that education is key. Get educated. Stop wasting your time. Analyze what you're trying to do. And I'm going to say this. I'm going to give more emphasis on that when I'm going on with my morals of the whole conversation. Descartes emphasized or stressed the fact why uncertainty is the number one killer of steadiness. Because when you make decisions without certainty, you tend to switch those decisions when you find out that they were wrong decisions. So, am I saying don't quit something you find out to be wrong? No. Quit something if you find out it's the wrong move. But the best move is actually making your findings before you go into something. If you can reduce the amount of wrong decisions you make on a daily, you will reduce the amount of times you have to quit things. And this is the leverage the successful families have over the unsuccessful families. Most successful families, the kids are being taught right from the onset on what they will be doing for the rest of their life. And they don't spend their time making mistakes to find things out or to figure it out. No. The father said, we are in the real estate in this family. We buy houses and we sell houses. I'm going to teach you how to buy houses and sell houses for the rest of your life. And you're going to be a multi-billionaire. The son said, ooh, I like that, Dad. Show me how. I like that, Mom. Show me how. Okay, this is what we do. We buy houses. Don't sell it this way. We sell it this way. We buy from here and we sell it. These kids grow up to learn this for the rest of their life, and they don't have to make multiple mistakes. On the other hand, the poor one, the less privileged one, the one with little resources, what do? They have to go out and figure it out. And guess what figure it out means? Try and error. Try and error. When you make so many try and error and you find out you're 30 years old, now you finally found something. That's why you end up as a millionaire in your 50s, because you spent a whole 30 years trying and failing. What am I saying? I'm saying is education is key. Getting educated is good. Learning more about what you're trying to accomplish is good. Learning more about what it takes to get to your destination is good. Clarity. Descartes' emphasis on clarity and certainty calls for education, cognition. Know what you are trying to accomplish so you can accomplish it better. Now, I wrote down some of the benefits of clarity and education, which I put down. You can write it down too as I am reading it out. One of the reasons that benefits of education or being cognitive about what you're working on is reduction of uncertainty and anxiety. When you are well educated about what you are trying to accomplish, you face or you get rid of uncertainty, you have more information about what you're trying to accomplish, you reduce anxiety or stress, and you have more clarity on what you're working on. You have better understanding of the potential of what you're working on, and you can actually determine the outcome of what you're working on. Secondly, adaptational resilience. If you know the cheese is at the end of this maze, you will keep running on that maze until you get to the cheese. The reason why most people quit what they're doing is because they don't really know for sure. Is this gonna work? Is this gonna work? Look at yourself right now and ask yourself, is it gonna work? Look at yourself right now and ask yourself, is it going to work? I have 10 minutes left for my talk. I want to ask you this question one more time. What you're working on right now, is it going to work? Focus on productivity. Getting educated keeps you focused. If you spend 10 years studying something, getting the knowledge, and everyone else is coming to you for suggestion about that topic, do you think that will help you to stay focused? Answer is yes. Study shows that people who become good at something tend to be there for a long time. Study shows that people who get good at something, once they get good at it, they don't want to leave it. And we also need to be careful about that, because that can be a trap. So whatever you're trying to do, and you study it well, and you get good at it, you tend to have more focus and more productivity in that thing. You effectively manage that thing, and you process any information that comes around it. Let me put it this way. If you were a barber, or if you cut hair in the early 2000s, and you're still a barber now, you should be able to confirm this fact that the hairstyles that existed in the 90s or in the early 2000s are not the hairstyles that are, in vogue right now or trendy right now. But your ability to be able to cut the hairstyle now is as a result of you being very good as a barber. That means that you don't need to learn all the hairstyles to be a good barber, because in the future, new styles will be in town. But your ability to transform your skill and your craft over time, because you have the basic knowledge and extended knowledge of a particular field and a plethora of sub-field in your field, is what makes you very productive and helps you to adapt to the new reality of what you are trying to explore or what you are working on. So this is the end of my research and my jotting down and my own computing and my own article put together and everything. Which comes to the morals, because we have how many minutes? 7 minutes. Which comes to the morals. What is the moral of my message? What is the moral? Wow, it is interesting, because I want to be talking to me now. What is the moral? When I founded Urge Talks, I knew what I wanted. I wanted to set up a platform that supersedes me. I wanted a platform where you can share your ideas and you can feel like it's worth it. And having to do all this has been challenging. Why has it been challenging? Because along the way, people with different offers come on the way. They want to be part of the project, but they don't want to be in the project in the way the project is supposed to run. Now, this takes me back to steadiness. People come with proposal. Let's make this a comedy platform. Some say, let's make this a this platform. Some say, let's make this a this platform. Which are good ideas. But there are few things that has influenced my decisions over the years in this. First and foremost, I have a good knowledge of what the platform should be. I have a vision for what the platform should be. I know what the vision, the platform should be in the next 5 years and the next 2 years. And if it's not getting there, I know there's something wrong. I also know that it's going to take work. I also know that people are not going to just jump in on a platform and say, oh yeah, we want to speak. And even if they do, I know they're not going to be coming to do it the exact way that it should be done. And that is why being steady is a thing for me. To be steady is an art, because sometimes you may not believe in what you're doing. To be steady is an art because times will come when you will doubt what you're doing. Oh, I've been doubtful so many times. I've been doubtful. Sometimes I say to myself, I have a podcast, I have this. What's the difference between this and a podcast? Why not I just do everything in podcast? Why do I have to do this in podcast and do this in some other platform? They take in more money, they take in more effort. Do I really need this? But some other times I have to act as if the journey is understandable. Sometimes I have to act as if I am so close to the destination. Sometimes I have to act as if someone is watching me and I don't have the choice to step aside. And look at me. Yeah, the journey goes on. The journey goes on. So, it's an art. You act to that. It's a craftsmanship. It's a theater thing. It's like a movie. We are acting a movie in life. We are acting. Some people like to be the sweet people. Some people like to be the tough people. Other people want to be an entrepreneur. Other people want to be a winner. Some want to be a legend. And you act it out in your daily life. You act it in your business. You act it in your dream. It's the Jacob's ladder. You keep climbing with the hope that the tunnel in which you tread is leading to your promised land. It's an act. And the more you act it out, it becomes clearer and clearer. Sometimes it gets gloomy, but sometimes it turns out well. And you feel it from the compliment, from the results. Sometimes you act it for a while for you to get the results. It's an art. Because even if it's not real, it is real in your imagination. And if it is real in your imagination, you can transmute it from your imagination into reality. The brain doesn't know what is real and what is not real. You make it real. This is Yeah. That's the story of the West. That is the story of the West. The earth was formless and void. And the Creator looked at it and said, let there be light. He started with an imagination, an idea. And the idea was manifested into reality. To become great at anything, you must have the persistence and the consistent and the breadth, the strength of character to stay on the path even if everyone else is looking at you, if even everyone else is laughing, they think you're wasting your time, they flex their shoulders on you, they opt out of your program to make you feel bad, or because it's not moving yet. They opt out of it because they feel like they're so useful to you. They give up on you because your star hasn't shined yet. They give up on you because they don't see an immediate benefit for themselves. Stay steady. Stay steady. Don't give up. Keep acting. I don't ask you to believe. There's no need for you to believe. Just keep acting. Just act like you understand what you're doing. Just keep nodding your head. Keep acting. Keep putting on the show. Go to work tomorrow morning like you know all the job is all about. Keep studying the process. Keep doing the work. It's the arts. Nobody figured it all out. Nobody. I tell you, nobody figured it all out. You learn in the process. You learn in the process. But what really matters is the certainty that you will show up every day for yourself. That you show up every day for what you said yes to. That is the difference. Are you going to show up? That is the moral of my conversation today. The act of being steady is being able to show up one more day every day. For yourself, for things you've made commitment to, for your family, for the purpose, for the cause, taking your emotions out of it, taking passion out of the picture, and doing what has to be done to keep the path closer and closer, even if you don't know where the time is. I will be discussing very soon, and this will be on TikTok, on the Urge page on TikTok. And I haven't concluded on what the theme would be. But it is most likely going to be the act of being ready. The act of being ready. And if you have family or friends that this could help, and this conversation could be motivating to, kindly share this to them. And let them know that I'll be having, in a few weeks from now, I'll be having a special talk on TikTok, Urge page, TikTok. And the title will be The Act of Being Ready. I do hope that you found this conversation truly transcending, and I do hope that you have a deep reflection tonight before you go to bed about what you're working on, how much you've given into it, and how close are you to give up. Is giving up worth it? What if it works right at the moment where you're about to give up? With that, I want to thank you very much for this and looking forward to connecting with you again.